We're in sunshine, all is well, and all is in divine order. Maybe we'll all stand. I'm excited about this morning. There's just an energy that crossed over me today, and partly, if I'm being honest, it's because some people who are near and dear to my heart are here this morning. And no offense to the ladies, y'all know I love y'all. But some of the men, when I see you, it's just amazing. You know, brother, I hadn't seen you in 3 weeks. I ain't calling you out, but you will get our bill. John goes without saying, Brett, where's Todd? Todd was outside greeting. And where's Stuart? In the lobby, at their own post, back at the post. But Gary's here today. Spark Man and his son, we haven't seen in a long time, and we've been texting, and we ran into each other about 3 weeks ago in a little dungeon gym, Extreme Fitness on Gratiot and 21 Mile Road. It's been a few years, so we kind of did the double take, Mike. Like, is that really, who I think it is? And then we didn't say anything. We just went up to each other and gave each other a hug. Men in the gym, this is a real gym, A real gym. No machines. It's all steel weight. Barbells done well. So they're looking at us, all the dynamics here. Black, white, short, tall, But we both got muscles. So it's good to see you and your son. There's Stuart over there. So there's this energy, this enthusiasm, this excitement. And David Stone and I, we were texting early this morning about that song, I Didn't Know My Strength. But sometimes we have to come to the point where we realize our strength. And sometimes it's hard to do that because we're just moving through the days, things are happening to us, and life is doing what it does, as we say. And most of us don't always do what we tell you to do, Reverend Wilma. In our teachings, because we tell you early on in the year, don't we?
We do.
Keep a gratitude journal.
That's right.
Don't we? You hear it? We even create one, the Mastermind Journal. And the reason why we ask you to keep this gratitude journal is, you want to know why? Well, just stick around for the next 20 minutes. But can you repeat after me? I am the evidence of endurance. I am the testimony of tenacity. I show up until Spirit shows out. I show up in trust until truth shows out. I don't just start in spirit, I finish in faith. And I have uncommon faith and faithfulness. You may be seated. So we got a good thing going on here this morning. Last week I talked about uncommon faithfulness. Y'all remember who was here and watched on the internet? And so if you're watching right now, you remember we talked about uncommon faithfulness. We can have faith, and we applaud ourselves if we have faith the size of a... That's not enough. That's not enough. That's like I'm hungry and you give me a French fry. No S on it, just one fry. And I'm like, but I'm hungry. And all you give me is a morsel, and more than a morsel. And so, in the scenario where I'm talking about faith, again, we went from faith to uncommon faithfulness, and now I want to talk about something else. Finishing faith. Finishing faith. Can you say that? Finishing faith. Faith that finishes. Now, do you understand what that means? Faith that finishes. Now, it's easy to start something. You know, it's easy to make New Year's resolutions. It's easy, Gary, to get the gym membership and say, this is the year I'm going to shed those extra pounds. This is the year I'm going to build those muscles up. This is the year they're going to say, bam! Look at her. Remember that old song, She's a Brick? How? Well put together, everybody knows. You hear what our minister said? Makes an old man wish for younger days. Oh my goodness, Brett. What is going on here? Daryl, what is happening? So it really is kind of easy to start something knowing that you have faith. You know, we do. The new goals, the new dreams, the new ambitions. But finishing faith is something that's required for success. In 2 Timothy 4:7, it says, I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept what? That's not surface faith. It's sustained faith. It's finishing faith, right? But life comes. Life comes, right? Can everybody say, life comes, and sometimes life happens. And I was working under this doctrine of a fairy tale mindset. Anybody here know what a fairy tale mindset is? You know, when you're young, mom and dad, grandma, grandpa, they read you these books about the little princess, Cinderella, the little prince that grows into a king and nothing ever goes wrong. But then life happens, doesn't it? Bad things shouldn't happen to me. That's the way I started out. I don't know if you can relate to me this morning, but I started out with a loving mother. I knew if no one else loved me, my mother loved me. And I also knew my big sister Debbie loved me because she would always give me candy. That big sister Debbie had me so fat by the time that I was 11. From just giving me everything. You did. You gave me everything. Now laters, honey buns, Twinkies, everything. And I just gobbled them up. Oh, she loves me, so I'm going to eat it. Bad things shouldn't happen to me. But then life comes and we see a bad thing happen to me. And then we get into this mindset of when is the next bad thing going to happen to me? Can anybody relate to that? You ever heard of Murphy's Law? Raise your hand if you heard of Murphy's Law. Most of us, we've heard of Murphy's Law, right? And Murphy's Law says if anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. And then we have this dichotomy, this push and pull, this tug of war between Murphy's Law and the mastermind law. And so you see the difference? Murphy's Law and mindset is saying if anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. While the mastermind mindset is all things are working together for the good. You see the difference? One is saying what can go wrong will go wrong, while the mastermind mindset is saying all things, can we say all things? All things are working for the good of me. And so we understand this. Murphy says, don't get your hopes up high. You know life. It's cut you a bad deal, put you in a bad spot. You're in the opposites of bad circumstances. That's Murphy speaking to you loud and clear. Don't get your hopes up too high. And some of us walk around with that mindset, and we warn our little kids, don't get your hopes up too high. Don't shoot for too much. But then it's the Spirit that says, raise your vibration. Raise your consciousness. Understand your purpose. Understand the provision. Understand your power within you. Say this with me. Even what feels wrong is being made right. Even the delay is designed by divine mind. Even the mess is making a miracle. And then say this. I'm not moved by Murphy. I'm aligned with the mastermind. Now, where are we going with this? Where are we going, Reverend Wilma? On this journey that started off about faith, and then we mixed it this month with will. Matthew, the will. And we should say, you do have a will, and where there's a will, there's a way, but there needs to be a willingness for the way to be shown. Do you understand that? Do you really understand that? There's a will, there's a way. But you have to be willing, and the willingness to go that way. What does that mean? What does that mean if I have to have the will and the willingness to walk that way? If I have to walk, it means I'm in motion. And if I'm walking, it requires me to move, right? That means I can't stay in the same place and expect something different. To see, to be, to do, to have something different. So do we understand that? Even in the mess, a miracle is being made. Do we understand that? Do we believe it? Not yet. Not yet. Because this message is for me. It's for you. Is it for you? Is it for you? Because I started some things in faith. God things, good things, dreams, goals, ambitions, projects, all started in faith. And I haven't finished some of them. I still have a book on my credenza. And it needs 2 more chapters to bring closure to it. I haven't written those final 2 chapters, Michael, in 14 months. I put it down, and now it's gathering dust. You ever started something and put it down and it began to gather dust? Raise your hand. Because I need to feel the love, because I need to feel like I'm not alone, Brett, this morning. It's getting crowded? I started in faith, but then I felt like I failed. I had the vision, but not the result. I made the move, but I didn't see the miracle. And somehow in that delay, that detour, I thought something about me was broken. You ever felt broken? You ever felt like you weren't whole? You ever felt like there were pieces of you missing? Like they're missing parts of you? It's like this 100-piece puzzle. And you're trying to put it all together through your prayer, your meditation, your practice. And it seems like there's one piece of the puzzle missing. And I can't seem to find it. Can anybody relate to that? Raise your hand if you can relate to that too. By the time we're finished today, you're going to have some big biceps. But the thing we have to remember, we're never broken, but we're always becoming. Yes. If you can just say that with me. I'm never broken, but I'm always becoming. And so today I just want to give myself and you permission. Stop crying. Stop bleeding. Stop grieving. Stop the pain. Stop the remorse. Release it and let it go. And to know that you're made to finish. This is just a race. And at every stage of the race, you're not as strong as you were in the beginning. You know, Steve, I was watching the Tigers last night. They had their ace on the mound last night. You watched that game, brother, I'm sure. They had the ace on the mound. They're leading the game. But it came later in the game. And the coach looked at the pitch count. And he looked at the way he was pitching. And he said, I think we need to bring in the finisher. We need to bring in the finisher. Now they're leading, but he says, I think we need to bring in the finisher because we want to make sure that we win. And so if you understand that, you understand who is the author and the finisher of your faith. It's the Christ within you. And is waiting to be called into this game of life that you're in and help you finish so you can win. So all you need to do is decide. And you don't even have to say, I'm going to bring in the finisher. What do they do, Brett, when they're going to bring in the finisher? What do? They walk out. Sparky Anderson used to walk out. He didn't look at the crowd or anything. And everybody knew. They was pointing at a watch. And sometimes he didn't have on a watch, but they knew. When he did this, it meant what? It's time. Can we say it's time? It's time to bring in the finisher, who is the author of our faith. And so if you're wondering, can I finish this race? Can I win this race? The answer is yes. But you need to affirm that by saying this. I still believe. I still belong. I still finish. I love something about the Buddhist double arrow teaching. In their religion, they talk about life. And in Buddhism, they say that in life, you're going to have these double arrow moments. What are you going to have? The first arrow you probably can't control. It's unavoidable. But it happens to you. The uninvited thing, the thing that you never wish to experience, but it's there. It's the divorce. It's the bankruptcy. It's the death. It's the termination on the job. It's the identity crisis. It's the diagnosis. It was all unavoidable. It was going to happen. The first arrow is unavoidable. Try as you may to pray, to meditate, to stay away from anything other than normal. This arrow comes and it pierces you. And all of a sudden, we think we've been pierced by poison that's supposed to be part of our permanent identity. Pierced. Anybody ever been pierced by an arrow? Raise your hand if you know you've been pierced by an arrow in the course of life. But then, in Buddhism, they say there could be a second arrow. Can we say could be a second arrow? Now I say could be a second arrow because in their spiritual teaching, they teach that the second arrow is optional. The second arrow is self-inflicted. Anybody in here ever self-inflicted a wound upon themselves? Swiss cheese. Self-inflicted. And it causes a delay. But this self-infliction is when we go into the state of remorse, pity, grief, doubt, anger. And we begin to tell ourselves, I should have known better. I should have known better. That I shouldn't have been there, done that, made that choice. Or we say, you know what? I never finish anything. Everything I start, I seem to not finish it. Or you just say, I keep making the wrong decisions over and over and over again. And we get into this cycle. But in their teaching, that's the second arrow. And it's not necessary. Because spirit doesn't require us to suffer twice. But when we make that choice to stay in that notion that something bad has happened, so Murphy's Law tells me something else bad is around the corner. It's waiting for me to get on his feet and playing this nasty, dirty game with me, that once I get on my feet, it's going to come and push me over again. Can anybody relate to that? Anybody been having that story? Anybody been telling that story about themselves and their life and transmitting it to other people? And here we are. And all Spirit is telling you after that first arrow comes is stay aligned. Stay alert to the arrow, but stay aligned and stay in faith. Stay in faith. But this time, stay in great faith. What kind of faith? I've been reading this book again. It's probably for the seventh time, Brett. By Ernest Holmes, and it's called This Thing Called You. And in the book, it has a quote that I love. It said, the spirit within you goes before you and makes easy and successful your way. Wouldn't you love to have a scenario, a situation where you know someone is going before you to make it easier, to allow you to be more successful? But when you break down what he's saying, the most important thing about that title is this thing called you. Who is you? Point to yourself. The you is you. Let's say something crazy right now. The you is you. The you is me. The you is me, myself, and I. Some of y'all seem like I really doubt that. But, say what? But the you is simply Y-O-U, your own unfolding. Unfolding means there's something within me that is greater than what I'm demonstrating, greater than what I'm revealing, greater than I'm seeing, greater than my five senses are allowing me to acknowledge and walk forward on this journey, this spiritual journey, this mind journey, this health journey, this prosperity journey, this relationship journey, this career journey. But it's you. Everything you need is within you, and it wants to unfold. So let it unfold. Why not? If everything is in you and the only thing you need to do is unfold it, let the folding cease and the unfolding begin. And then once we open the door to that, if you're receptive to receiving that as your mindset, then we just switch, and then you becomes yes to the opportunities that are unlimited. And yes, opportunity unlimited. Do you see that? When you get to the point where you say, I stop letting Murphy's Law rule my life. Every second, minute, and hour, Murphy is on the news. Murphy, strolling as I stroll through social media. Murphy is everywhere, in my phone conversation, in my text messages, telling me the bad news. But once I stroll my text messages, once I realize we're not in a life or death situation, someone's just spreading the bad news, I delete quickly. You know how you do that? You take your finger and you say, trash. Want that trash going inside of me. I'm not an incinerator. I'm certainly not a trash can. Anybody here a trash can? Raise your hand if you're a trash can. Sheldon, thank goodness nobody a trash can. So we shouldn't let trash in ourselves at this point, because what we're saying is you are unfolding, and there are opportunities unlimited. And because I'm limitless, I choose to live in the highest of heavens. There's a poem that I wrote. Can I read it? Y'all don't mind if I read it? I'm kind of shy. If Brett gave me permission, I'll read it. Can I have permission? If Brett says so, I can. Faith that finishes prayer. God of the blueprint and the breakthrough. I come not as the finished product, but as the faithful in process. I bring the dreams I paused, the visions I buried, the goals I shelled, because fear whispered louder than faith. But today, I released the second arrow. I silenced the shame, guilt, remorse, and the anger. I stopped punishing myself for where I stopped. Spirit, remind me. You never canceled the call. You never looked back and took back the assignment. You never closed the door and put a lock on it. I just stopped knocking. So I returned. Not to strive, but to surrender. Not to perform, but to align. Not to hustle, but to heal what's wounded. And I say, Yes to the vision. Yes to the finish. Yes to the unfolding divinity still happening in me. Amen. And so it is. Whoop. One more time, say it with me. I'm still showing up. I'm still believing. I'm still becoming. In faith, I showed up, and God showed out. Maybe we all stand. Can we just do an exercise real quickly? Not jumping jacks. But jumping for joy. Because life has shown us some things. The best and the worst. But we're still here. Murphy's Law sends us messages. But now we know the mastermind mindset is more important. Repeat after me. I walk in alignment with divine mind. I don't fear the block. I build on it. I didn't miss my moment. I am the moment. I'm not moved by Murphy. I'm led by the mastermind. I finish what I started in spirit and in truth and in faith. Because the power in me refuses to quit on me. I am the faith that finishes. If you notice, I've modified that affirmation. I was sitting down the street, drinking my tea, going over my notes. Some of those things that we recited were missing. I'd already read everything for the slides. But then I thought about one of my greatest attributes, and probably one of the worst things about me, is I'm pretty transparent at this point in my life. I'm always ran in the interviews now, and people want to know what's the secret to your success. And I don't know how successful I've been. One of my kids are here this morning, and I'm very proud of him. But all I know is through it all, I always had this desire to finish. Because I always had this desire to see what's beyond the block. The burden and what was bothering me. I don't know if you can relate, but stuff bothers me. As I get older, less things bother me, but I still get bothered by some things. And when I'm bothered, I say, I need to get through this block. I need to make it through to the other side. And if my faith is one that finishes, if I get to the other side, truly goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And so that's all I want to do. At this point in my life, I wake up eager and anxious, excited and enthusiastic about each and every day. That this is the day the Lord has made. And I'm going to rejoice and be glad in it. Because something good is about to happen. And all it requires me to do is move. forward. Move forward, anticipating that the finisher is within me. And just when I feel weak, just when I doubt, just when I'm feeling guilty, I know I shouldn't have did what I did when I did what I did. Then I say, I'm getting ready to call in the finisher. Because it's time. It's time to be carried by a greater force than I am. And that is the Christ within me. So I unite in a collective consciousness with all the 12 powers coming together. And this time, I have the will to connect with the Christ will. And I have the willingness to have the faith and the faithfulness to finish. If you can relate to me, can you just yell out with me? I want to be the finisher that finishes in faith. Renaissance Unity, I love you. And there's nothing you can do about it. Thanks for having me this morning. God bless each and every one of you.